It's midnight here in Taiwan, and we've had now 2 days of beautiful sea in Tokyo, and Australia is the first team off to a 2-0 record with victories over Taiwan and Czechia. Japan and Korea Republic each at 1-0, looking to get their second wins tomorrow. And Taiwan and Czechia are both 0-2. Both of them will be playing each other tomorrow to stave off elimination. The loser of the game tomorrow between Taiwan and Czechia will be eliminated. Here we're going to start Pool A in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and you have two. This is a really interesting group. I think the general consensus is that Puerto Rico is the favorite to win this group. But then you look at the other four teams in this group, and it's really, really intriguing. Today we have Panama. Panama is filled with major leaguers on their roster. They're going to be very dangerous. I saw Panama play 3 years ago when they played Taiwan in Taichung. And they look really, really good. They look really, really impressive. They have a lot of really good major league talent on their team. They were victimized, like everybody else, by that crazy 2-2 tie that not everyone was tied at 2-2. And they finished fourth in that tiebreaker, so they didn't advance. But they're a very, very capable team. Cuba has the legacy. They have the heritage. Maybe they're not quite as good as they were 20, 30 years ago. I remember seeing them 20 years ago or so in Taichung when they played at the Intercontinental Cup, the World Cup. They were still a thing, and I remember one time when Taiwan did beat them, and Zhang Taishan, a Taiwanese baseball legend, famously remarked, "Woman England Cuba," we beat Cuba. Cuba's doesn't quite have that mystique anymore, but they're still dangerous. They've got a couple major leaguers, and of course, they have a very strong program domestically. The other two teams in this group to watch out for, of course, are Canada. This might be the best Canadian team, and we'll see Canada in a few hours. This is probably the best Canadian team that has ever been put together. They've never advanced. They've been in every edition of the World Baseball Classic, but they've never advanced. This might be the year that they can do it. Tough group. They're going to have to get by Cuba. They're going to have to get by Panama. They're also going to have to get by a really strong Colombia team. Colombia is also really strong. So this group is really interestingly poised. Puerto Rico seems to be the favorite, but we're going to see Cuba and Panama in a few minutes, and also Canada and Colombia round out this group. So that's going to be a really fascinating battle. There's no really weak team in this group. There's no Czechia in this group. And I say even Czechia looks much improved. But there's no real weak team in this group. There's strong teams all over this group. Any one of those four teams could nab that second spot. And quite frankly, they could also knock off Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is not invincible. So we're going to have a very interesting game today between Panama, filled with major leaguers all over their roster. Very, very strong team. And Cuba, who has the legacy, who has the heritage, maybe down on their luck in the last 15, 20 years. But they're always a force to be reckoned with. You cannot ignore Cuba. So in about 5 or 10 minutes or so, we're going to see them take the field. They have played the national anthems in Puerto Rico. This is one of the two groups that's not on the mainland of the United States. Tokyo, Japan is the venue for Group C. This is Group A. And while Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, Puerto Rico is not in the mainland of the United States. Pool B, which will be featuring Brazil, Great Britain, Italy, Mexico, and the United States, is going to be played in Houston, Texas. They'll start in a few hours. And also Pool D, the Dominican Republic, the prohibitive favorite in Miami, also with Israel, the Netherlands, who's very, very strong. The Netherlands is a really strong team. Nicaragua, and Venezuela. So in a few minutes, we're going to have Cuba against Panama in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Stay tuned. Hopefully, this will be a really good game. We're expecting a really good game. I hope it's a good game. It's midnight here, so I'm staying up overnight to see this game and to share it with anyone who wants to pop in and say hi if you are watching at any time. Please leave a comment. Maybe leave a suggestion. I'm still pretty new at this. This is something I'm new at, doing the live commentary. Yesterday was my first time doing it. And even if no one shows up, who cares? I love baseball. I love the World Baseball Classic. This is going to be my second favorite sports event of the year. Wait till the FIFA World Cup comes around, because I'm also fanatical about the sport of football or soccer. So at Hiram Bithorn Stadium, they're experienced at hosting World Baseball Classic games, and so we should have a good one between the Central American power of Panama, probably the best team in Central America, And this is of course, a very heavily Spanish-speaking pool. They say that they supposedly draw these teams, they put them in pots, and they drew them. But they're in Puerto Rico. All but one of these is a Spanish-speaking team. Only Canada, which is English and French-speaking. Every other team in this is a Spanish-speaking club. So we're gonna have a very, very interesting match. And this is the first match now that's not in Tokyo. Yeah. So we've had 4 games in the World Baseball Classic. This will be the 5th game of the World Baseball Classic. All 4 of the games that have been previously played have been in Japan. Have been in Tokyo at the Tokyo Dome, which is a great venue. I've been to the Tokyo Dome. Great venue. Tomorrow, you're going to have Taiwan facing off against Czech Republic, and you're going to have Korea Republic playing the hosts Japan, who were extremely impressive. They were very, very impressive today. Japan was against Taiwan, scoring 10 runs in the second inning, run ruling Japan after 7, 13-0. Taiwan, very disappointing. They've got some good offensive players in their lineup. They just haven't been able to get the bats on the ball against Aussie or Japanese pitching. I think they're hoping that tomorrow against Czechia that they'll be able to get their bats on the ball. I should say tomorrow. It's later today. It's now Saturday. It's Saturday, March 7th here in Taiwan, in East Asia now. So we're about 11 hours ahead of the Eastern United States. Of course, Puerto Rico is in the Atlantic time zone. Yeah. And so how many foreign-born? Well, Livan Moinelo plays for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. So we're not only talking about major league experience, that they do have a couple of major leaguers for Cuba, but they also have a player for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. So it's going to be very interesting. We have a couple of games coming up later. But a big game coming up in the next 24 hours, I think, is the Korea-Japan game. There's no love lost between those two teams, especially the Koreans have for the Japanese. And I think any baseball fan, at least in this part of the world, definitely remembers that 2009 run made by the Koreans. You'd never underestimate the Koreans. They're inconsistent like the Taiwanese often are. That might open the door for a pretty good Australian team who is also in mid-season form. But we're going to go ahead and see what happens. So another player that we're going to be looking at is Logan Allen. Okay. Logan Allen, who is a pitcher. He pitches in the Cleveland. I'm still tempted to say Cleveland Indians. He pitches for the Cleveland Guardians. And it looks like he'll be taking the mound today for Panama. So all 30 players for Panama are affiliated with a major league team. In the past, 18 of them have played in an MLB game. Okay, so there's a lot of major league experience for Team Panama, much more so than 3 years ago. This is a team, this is a country, this is a program that has very much advanced and progressed just in the last 3 years since we saw them in Taichung. I saw them in Taichung. I was impressed with them then. Of course, their most famous player ever is Mariano Rivera, and he actually was invited. This guy sounds strange. When because Taiwan loves baseball and Taiwan appreciates great baseball players. And so when Panama played Taiwan in Taichung in the 2023 World Baseball Classic, they invited Mariano Rivera to throw the first pitch, the Panamanian great, the reliever for the New York Yankees. Sorry, I'm a Red Sox fan. But I think that's kind of the way Taiwan rolls. Taiwan, they respect baseballers. And Mariano Rivera is a very well-respected baseballer here in Taiwan and in many other countries around the world. So that's not going to be the case tonight, though. They're in Puerto Rico, and we have Panama against Cuba. Sorry, Colombia is in this group. Colombia, the one in South America, and they're going to be taking the field pretty soon. Right now, there's not a lot of people in the crowd. It's a pretty sparse crowd here in Bithram Stadium. And that's always the problem with these World Baseball Classic games is now, for example, when I went to the games in Taichung 3 years ago, the Taiwan games, they're always packed. They're always full. And, the same is true in Japan. The Japan games are always full. But when the games not involving the home team are on, there's usually pretty sparse crowds. And that's what you see today in San Juan. Now, of course, to be fair, it is a Friday afternoon. It's Friday night here. It's actually early Saturday morning here. But it's Friday afternoon in Puerto Rico. So yeah, to be fair, they're probably at work, they're probably at school. So one thing that I liked in Taichung, I was teaching at a school in Taichung at the time, and the city government gave passes for us to bring many of our students to a couple of the games. So we had a lot of crowds, even though for the non-Taiwan games in Taichung 3 years ago. So again, Panama, very strong team. I actually was pretty excited when I saw Panama 3 years ago because I actually caught a foul ball at that World Baseball Classic game. I caught a foul ball because I was behind the plate in the upper deck of that game, and I caught a foul ball hit by Lin Li, Taiwan player he's not on the roster this time around. But I caught a World Baseball Classic foul ball hit by Lin Li 3 years ago at the Taichung region. So the players, the umpires are starting to take the field. The Panamanian defenders are on the field warming up, and it looks like we're going to get to a start very, very soon. One thing I don't like about these World Baseball Classic games, here in Taiwan, when they say the game is going to start at, like, for example, 6:35. 6:35 is the normal start time for weeknight games, and before on the weekends, before we get to the heat of the summer, the games will start at 2:05. Once we get to the heat of the summer, they move back to 5:05, and they start literally on the minute. They literally start on the dot. The punctuality is a thing here in Taiwan, except for the trains. But in the World Baseball Classic, they say, okay, 7 o'clock start, doesn't start till 7:30 or 7:15. So yeah, they said 12 o'clock start till midnight start in our time zone, but that's not what's going to happen. But the Panamanian pitcher's now on the mound. He's warming up. And it is confirmed. It is Logan Allen. He plays for the Cleveland Guardians. 29 starts, 8-11 record for the Guardians last season. So this is a pitcher that definitely has major league experience, and I have a feeling that he's going to be very, very difficult for the Cubans to deal with. He's got 5 pitches, and so if he can use them with a good variety, the Cuban hitters that don't play in the U.S. or in Japan are not used to seeing that kind of diversity or the kind of velocity that he is going to throw at them. So he could give the Cubans some headaches. And Panama's got good defense. Panama's got good hitting. This is a very, very good Panamanian team. Don't be surprised if Panama advances for the first time in their history. Canada's also going to be looking to do the same thing. Canada's also going to be looking to advance for the first time ever. So we're going to see what happens. Well, looks like we're just getting ready to go. Roel Santos is going to be the leadoff hitter for Cuba. Umpire is cleaning off the plate, takes his position. Batter is in the batter's box. And we are about to have our first pitch of the World Baseball Classic in a game that is not held in Japan. Yeah. 5th game of the World Baseball Classic for 2026 is about to begin. And the pitch, he shows bunt. He runs out of the batter's box, kind of trying to show a drag bunt, but the ball's on the outside corner, called strike one. 0-1 count to Roel Santos. He plays for Tabasco in Mexico with a 324 average. The sliding sweeper in the outside, it's a 1-1 count to Santos with Allen on the mound. It's a 1-1 count, top of the first. No score, first batter of the game. Third pitch of the game in the windup of the pitch. It looks bunt. He drags the bunt. It's called a ball, but there's an appeal to the first base umpire, and the first base umpire says he did go through with the bunt. So it is now a 1-2 count for Santos in the first at bat of the game against Logan Allen, the Panamanian pitcher who plays for the Cleveland Guardians. He's set, and the windup and the pitch, and another sweeper, low to ball 2. So it's a 2-2 count. So we have a 2-2 count in the top of the first with Roel Santos facing Logan Allen. The pitch. And that's a called strike 3. That's the first out of the ball game. Logan Allen gets his first strike out of the ball game. Strikeout looking, Roel Santos, and he is out looking. Second batter is going to be Juan Macada for Cuba. Okay, he's already in the batter's box, and Logan Allen is on the mound. One thing about this pitch, pitch clock, they move it pretty fast. That is on the inside corner. First strike, strike one. 0-1 count to Yohan Moncada. Yeah, Yohan Moncada, he played with the Angels last season, and that's a swinging strike, 0-2 count. So Allen is ahead early, 0-2 to Moncada. 0-0 ball game, top of the first, 1 out, second batter of the game in the first game of the World Baseball Classic not held in Japan. The 0-2 pitch, and that is low and a little bit outside for a ball. It's a 1-2 count. 1-2 count to Moncada. Allen on the mound in the 5th game of this year's World Baseball Classic, and again, the first one not being played in Japan. Allen's on the mound, wind up in the pitch, and that is strike 3. Looked like he didn't hold the pitch or got the bottom of the plate. We're not really sure. It doesn't really matter. It is another strikeout. What I want to know is, was that looking? That was not looking. That was a strikeout, but he did not hold on that swing. So it's 2 strikeouts to start the game. And as I said at the beginning of this cast, he's got 5 different pitches that he can throw at the Cubans, and the Cubans are not used to seeing that kind of variety in a pitcher. That one was a little bit high and inside for a ball. Ball 1. 1-0 count to Ariel Martinez. He plays with Nippon Ham in Sapporo in Japan. Only a 174 average for Nippon Ham. And that's on the inside corner, swing strike, 1-1 count to Martinez of the Nippon Ham fighters. And now for Cuba. Yeah, top of the first, no outs. First 2 batters for Cuba struck out at the hands of Allen. And makes contact, gets it between the shortstop and the third baseman for a hit into left field. Didn't sound really great off the bat, but it just found its way through the infield, got his way between the shortstop and the first baseman. Cuba has its first hit of the ball game with 2 outs in the top of the first inning. As we see the replay, it didn't get a lot of movement on that ball, and Martinez was just able to get out and grab it and just punch it into left field for a base hit. Runner on first, 2 outs. And now Despaigne is up. Alfredo Despaigne, the Cubans, that's high and inside for a ball. 1-0 count to Despaigne. Little bit heavy set. He plays in the CNS. This is his 5th time in the World Baseball Classic. The pitch, high and inside for a ball 2, 2-0 count to Despaigne. He's the power hitter and the captain of the Cuban team. Runner on first, 2 outs, 2-0 count to Despaigne. The windup and the pitch. In the strike zone, swing, pulls it down the third base line, but it is a foul ball. 2-1 count to Despaigne. On this team, Despaigne has more home runs than any player in the history of the World Baseball Classic with 7. Well, I'm sure he's going to be looking to try to add to that today. Maybe try to add to it some before Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani Shohei can catch up to him. That was a call strike, 2-2 count. And Allen with the pitch. And that is a high fastball, strike 3 swinging. And so Allen gets 3 strikeouts in the first inning against Cuba, sandwiched in with a hit in there. So it's 1 hit, no errors, no runs. And it is 0-0 after the top of the first. We're in the middle of the first. We're going to have Panama coming up. Levon Moinelo will be pitching for Cuba. And coming up for Panama in the first inning will be the leadoff hitter Alan Cordoba. The second hit will be Almundo Sosa. And third player will be Jose Caballero. Yeah. So those will be the 3 batters coming up for Panama in the top of the first. We'll see if Panama can jump on the Cubans early. 3 strikeouts in the first inning for Logan Allen. Very, very impressive start to the game, just giving up the single by the really good hitting Ariel Martinez. And so we'll see what Panama can do in the bottom of the first. Okay, Cuban players are taking the field now. They're warming up. The Cuban starter, Levon Moinelo, going through his warm-up pitches. 0-0 in the middle of the first inning. 3 strikeouts for the Panamanian starter, Logan Allen, giving up a single. 2-out single, turned out to be harmless, left on base. Okay, here we are coming to the bottom of the first inning. Panama is going to see if they can get on the board after a scoreless first inning for the Cubans with three strikeouts by Logan Allen. 2-out single by R.M. Martinez. He was stranded at first base. Panama's going to start leadoff hitters. It's going to be Alan Cordoba. Edmundo Sosa is going to be batting second. Jose Caballero is going to be batting third this inning. And we're going to see if the Panamanians can get off to a good start. Now, in the last World Baseball Classic 3 years ago, they got off to a really big, really fast start against the Taiwanese. And they were able to win 12-5 in their opening game. They weren't able to advance. They did win. They did go 2-2. Panama did in the last World Baseball Classic, but they came in fourth place in that really crazy 5-way tie with everyone in the pool finishing at 2-2 in Taichung. Levan Moinelo, the Cuban pitcher, plays for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks, and that is just a little bit too much inside. It's a ball, 1-1 count to Alan Cordoba. Sorry. 1-1 count to Alan Cordoba, the pitch. And that's going to be a light ground ball to the first baseman, but it is dropped. Now, did he touch first base, I wonder? But he advances to second. Now, if I were the Panamanians, I would think about appealing to first base because I am not 100% sure that he got first base when he was rounding that. So what happened was it was a ground ball. It was fielded by the first baseman. The first baseman tossed it to the pitcher. The pitcher was not able to field. It was a little bit behind him by the looks of it. We'll see. He did get first base. He did get it on the run. So he got first base, and it was dropped by the pitcher. I think that's going to be an error on the first baseman because he tossed it behind the pitcher. So if I were the official scorer, I would rule that an E3 and then advancing to second. So he gets a single, and he advances to second on the error. So nobody out. Panama has a runner on second base. That's their first hit of the ball game with the leader or the leadoff batter. Advances to second on the error by, I'm going to assume that they're going to give that error to the first baseman because he threw it behind the pitcher, who was in time. He was there to cover the bag in time. Edmundo Sosa plays with the Phillies, 276 batting average. But he's off to an 0-2 count in his at-bat against Manello. So that error by the first baseman, throwing it behind the pitcher who was covering the bag for the Cubans, is going to give Panama an early opportunity with a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Moinello's on the mound. He's in the stretch. And that is inside, a little bit high. Looks for a ball. It's a 1-2 count to Sosa. Sosa looking into driving the first round of the game for the Panamanians to get up to a fast start, just like they did 3 years ago in Taichung. Stretch on the pitch, little bit outside, swings, rolls it foul just off of the third base line. So it's going to be another 1-2 pitch. Panamanians are already looking like they're having a good time, which is great because that's what this is all about. Sport. You're together with your countrymen. And this is a great event. I've been to 2 World Baseball Classics when they were held in Taichung. Hopefully they'll be back in Taichung or in Taipei at the Taipei Dome. We're kind of disappointed. We thought they might be in the Taipei Dome this time around, but they decided to have this. And that's high, and he swings, and it is a strikeout. It's the first strikeout of the game for the Cuban pitcher Levan Moinelo. So we have 1 out, still a runner on second, still in scoring position, still less than 2 outs. And so we still have a chance for the Panamanians to score a run. And so what we do is we have Jose Caballero's up, and he's going to see if we can drive in Cordoba. Moinelo's on the mound. He's in the set, and here comes the pitch. And that is high in the strike zone, but it is a strike. It is an 0-1 count. This umpire strike zone has been a little bit tighter than some of the umpires that we've had in Tokyo so far. As long as he's consistent, that's great. That is right on the outside corner for strike. I think the batter, Caballero, is asking the ump, did I swing or was that a strike? He didn't swing, but that was definitely on the corner. That was a strike. 0-2 count. The delivery. And the pitch, that's high. Okay, no way he's going to make an offer with that. It's a 1-2 count. Smart pitch. Give him some high heat seal, but chase it. Didn't chase it, so it's a 1-2 count. Runner on second base with after the leadoff single and the error by the first baseman. Oh, that is a breaking ball, but that was high all the way. He's tried to bring that down into the strike zone, but didn't quite come down enough. So it's going to be a 2-2 count to Caballero with a runner on second with 1 out. Cordoba with the leadoff hit, advancing to second on the error by the first baseman. The pitch is going. The runner's going. Throw to third. He is out. He is out at third. Looks like Panama is going to appeal. It's a full count now on Caballero. It looks like Mayorga. Is he going to challenge? We're going to see the replay now. Going, it's a great throw by the Cuban catcher. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think he might have got his hand in there. Let's see. Oh my God! Talk about a bang bang play. That's a bang bang play. I think that mitt, that Ovens mitt, does he stay on the bag? He does stay on the bag. The mitt stays on the bag. I don't know. Are they going to challenge? No, they're not going to challenge. So they're going to stick with the out. So he's caught stealing to erase the runner who was in scoring position, and Caballero gets a walk. Now I'm not sure with 1 out. I know the thinking. The thinking is get him into third base, sacrifice fly, but you had a 2-0 count, and that was a ball, so it made it a 3-0 count. Now he walks, and so what happens is you basically erase a runner. You could have had runners on first and second with 1 out. Now you get a runner on first with 2 outs. So a walk for Jose Caballero, and Miguel Amaya's up now with a runner on first, but with 2 outs because of the caught stealing at third base. So Amaya, right-handed batter, facing the left-handed Cuban pitcher, right in the heart of the strike zone for strike one. 0-1 count to Amaya with a runner on first and 2 outs in the bottom of the first. 0-0 ball game. Moinello on the mound. The delivery a little bit outside, called for a ball. 1-1 count on Amaya. Moinello. His control has been pretty good. He's been painting around the plate. I think that was intentional. He was going to see if he could go and chase one. He didn't chase. That one's also on the outside. He tried to break that into the upper corner. Didn't quite break enough. So it's going to be a 2-1 count to Amaya. Moinello on the mound for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Runner on first with 2 outs. That one's in the heart of the strike zone, pulled to the third baseman, and that is going to be no error there. That's going to be a routine 6-4 ground out, and that is the end of the inning for Panama. What could have been if they hadn't tried for the stolen base, but you had a single, a walk, caught stealing, no runs, 1 left on. Each team left on 1 in the first inning. It is a 0-0 ball game going into to the top of the second. Each team's got a hit. Panama's also had a caught stealing, and each team has had one left on base in the first inning. So we're going to move on to the second inning. The Cubans are going to be up. Up for Cuba is Arisabel. Oh my God, how am I going to say this name? I don't speak Spanish. Aruba Rena. Thank you. Omar Hernandez will be second, and Yoclis Gilbert will be in the hole. He'll be the third batter in the inning. Logan Allen had a really good first inning with 3 strikeouts, and scattered in those 3 strikeouts was a 2-out single by Ariel Martinez. Pizza Hut ad with baseball theme. Once again, showing just this is a baseball crazy country, and there's a lot of disappointment here right now at the 0-2 start, and especially today, getting crushed by Japan 13-0. It was at that 10. I didn't see it because I was working, but yeah, when I when I finished work and I saw that we were down 13-0 against Japan, that was really hard to stomach, especially considering last time Taiwan played Japan at the Tokyo Dome, Taiwan came out as the winner of the Premier 12. So as we are going up to the top of the second, okay, Cuba's going to be sending Arisbel Arabarena to the plate. Okay, 0-0 ball game. Each team has a hit. Cuba has an error. I should record the error. I forgot to write it down. Cuba has an error. Each team has a hit. Cuba has an error. In 2023, as it's showing here, Panama finished 2-2, fourth place in the group with the 2-2 record. Everyone finishing in the group 2-2. Taiwan's the only country that did not have a losing record and had to requalify because everyone in the group last time around finished 2-2 in Taichung. That was a crazy group play at the World Baseball Classic. First pitch to Barrena. It is a swinging strike one in a 0-0 ball game in the top of the second inning. Barrena plays in the CNS, the Cuban National League, and he batted 246. This is his second time in the World Baseball Classic. That is a high inside swung 0-2 count. That was fouled back to the backstop. So we have an 0-2 count, first batter of the second inning for the Cubans. And again, one thing we'll keep an eye on. Right now, Allen is at 19 pitches. A lot of teams, especially the Australians and the Koreans, they were trying to get their pitchers all under 30 pitches. This is flied out to center field. It's a routine put out by the Panamanian center fielder, Miguel Amaya, for the first out of the inning. Yeah, so right now, Allen has not really faced any problems. Again, he has 5 pitches, forcing fastball, sweeper, changeup, sinker, and a cutter. So he's got a lot of pitches that he can play with, a lot of pitches that he can use, and to really keep these Cuban batters off balance. Omar Hernandez is up for Cuba. Nobody on. That's in the strike zone, inside of the strike zone for strike one. 0-1 count to Allen. To Hernandez. Allen is now on 21 pitches. Now, Omar Hernandez does play in the minors. He played in A+ and AA with a 225 average. That is high and inside. He checked the swing. The catcher appealed to the first base umpire, but the first base umpire did not give the swing. So it's a 1-1 count to Omar Hernandez. In a 0-0 ball game, 1-1 count, nobody on with 1 out. That is inside swing pulled foul down the third base line, 1 and 2. Okay. Right now, Allen's got the Cuban batters really not knowing what he's going to do. He goes outside, goes inside. He's got them really off guard. They don't know what to look for, the Cuban batters right now. Allen's mixing up his pitches pretty nicely. The delivery of the pitch, that's too high. High fastball, that was never going to come down. And Hernandez very, very smartly laid off that. 2-2 count. 0-0. 1 out, top of the second. The delivery in the pitch, the windup in the pitch, and that is low and inside for ball 3. It's a full count. The first full count of the game for either team. And Allen with a full count against Hernandez. First full count of the game, 0-0, top of the second. Already 1 out at the top of the second. Full count. And the set. And the windup and the pitch. And that's a breaking ball. Caught him swinging. He chased after a ball. And that is the fourth strikeout of the game. 4th strikeout of the game for Logan Allen. Logan Allen is dominating these Cuban hitters right now. So right now, basically what he's got just a fly out. He's got 4 strikeouts, one of them looking. Just gave up the single, the 2-out single to Ariel Martinez in the top of the first. So we've got really, really good stuff being commanded by Logan Allen right now, which is not a surprise, playing for the Cleveland Guardians. And now we have up Leonardo Bernal. First pitch is low, looking 1-0 count in the top of the second with 2 outs, nobody on. Played with the Indios in the NICW. His second appearance in the WBC, 288 hitter. That is low near the dirt, picked up cleanly by the catcher. And it's a 2-0 count. This is really the first time Allen's fallen behind in this game. So 2-0 count, 2 outs, top of the second with no outs. And that is ripped. It's gone. Home run. Yogesh Geber. Home run. basically, I don't know, he just yanked that ball down the right field line and it just went out. And you couldn't tell at first if it was fair or foul. It was just fair. And it didn't really even go very high. It was not like one of those moonshots or anything. He just sent that out. It left in a hurry. I'd like to get a clock. I'd like to get a stopwatch on that ball leaving the park because that did not take long to get out at all. The only question was it fair or foul? And it turned out to be that it was fair. And Cuba now has a 1-0 lead. 1-0 lead for Cuba, which is kind of like out of the run of play because Logan had been pitching so well. Moas Jr. already up. They don't waste any time at this World Baseball Classic. They get that next batter up. Guibert gets the home run. 1-0 Cuba in the top of the second inning. And swinging strike for Moas Jr. 0-2 count. But Cuba's got the early run on the board. Okay. One thing that Cuba always does, Cuba always brings power, and Guibert just was out like a lightning. That was out in seemingly a couple of seconds. Here we have harmless ground ball to third base, throws it across the infield, pulled off the first baseman just a little bit, but the first baseman is able to corral it in for the putout. So it's a routine 5-3 putout, third baseman to the first baseman. But the damage is done. Cuba has a 1-0 lead on the strength of the Yokel's Guibert home run. 1-0 Cuba. One thing about Cuba, once they get a lead, and they have the early lead here at the top of the second with that just line drive shot that really never got very high, but it just went straight out of the ballpark down the right field line. So we're going to have a 1-0 lead for the Cubans as we get to the bottom of the second. Let me get some water before we get to the bottom of the second inning with a 1-0 lead for Cuba with that shot of a home run by Guibert. Okay, so we're going to come to the bottom of the second. After an inning and a half, Cuba has one run on 2 hits with an error. They've had one left on base in this game. Panama, after their first inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, also 1 left on base. So we're going to come to the bottom of the first inning. And Panama is going to bring to the plate Leonel Barnell, followed by Leo Jimenez, and then Johan Camargo. Those will be the 3 batters coming up in the bottom of the second for Panama at Estadio Hiram Bertram. And we have Moelo still on the mound. And the first pitch is a swinging strike for Bernal on the plate. He's a 247 hitter in the minors AA in North America. That is way high and outside for a ball. 1-1 count to Bernal. Okay. With no outs in the bottom of the first, trailing 1-0 to Cuba. Pitch also outside, 2-1 count. One of the things that Panama did in the first inning that they might now be ruining was that caught stealing at third base that prevented them from maybe having a chance to score a run. That's a foul ball off the right-hand side into the stands. 2-2 count in the bottom of the second. First batter of the inning, no outs, trailing Cuba 1-0. Lefty Cuban pitcher, and that's grounded softly to the third baseman. Barehands it, and beautiful play by the Cuban defender. Barehanded by the third baseman, Yuan Makata. Excuse me. And he throws it, no problem. Beautiful play. Very good fundamentals. Bare hands it. Grabs it in a single motion. Throws it to the first baseman for a 5-3 putout. Second consecutive 5-3 putout for the Cubans when we had a 5-3 putout, 5-3 ground out to end the first inning for the Cuba. And then they start the second inning with a 5-3 putout. Leo Jimenez is up with nobody on with one out in the bottom of the second. First pitch is just on the inside corner for a strike. Strike one to Leo Jimenez. Played up to AAA, batting .396. That one's also on the inside corner low. That looked it might have been a little bit too low, but the umpire gave it, so it's an 0-2 count. And yeah, you kind of had to go that one. Moinello had some good movement on that. That did catch the high end of the strike zone after starting out of the strike zone. Jimenez did really, really well to foul that one off, to spoil that pitch, to keep the count at 0-2. Wind up in the pitch, and that's at the very bottom end of the strike zone, and another pitch wasted. Two really good pitches by Moinello, both of them wasted by Jimenez. So it's still 0-2. We're going to get our third 0-2 offering here. And swing and a miss. And that's going to be the second strikeout of the game for Livan Moinello. Now, about Aaron Botham, this is the fourth time it has hosted a World Baseball Classic. 19,000 capacity, a little bit smaller than the Taichung Intercontinental Stadium, which holds 20,000. By comparison, in Taipei, the new Taipei Dome hosts can hold about 40,000 for baseball. 0-1 count now to Johan Camargo. Soft ground ball to the shortstop, throws it to the first baseman, no problem for the out, and it's going to be a 3 up, 3 down on the 6-3 putout. And Panama goes away very, very quietly in the second inning. After 2 innings, it is 1-0 Cuba. Cuba with 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, 1 left on base. And we have Panama with no runs, 1 hit, no errors, also 1 left on base. When we go to the top of the third inning, we're going to start with the bottom of the Cuban order, with Idicape, or Idicap. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. I don't speak Spanish. And then we're going to go back to the top of the order with Raul Santos and Juan Mancada. Okay, as we come into the top of the third inning, then we're looking at the schedule coming out of Panama. Like Taiwan, is going to play all 4 of its games in the first 4 days, as is Colombia. So they'll know pretty quickly whether they're going to be moving on to Texas or not, to Houston, as the 2 winners in this group. First pitch hitting. And he's gonna be out at second base. Oh, what? The throw definitely beat at second base. So what happened was Edie Cap, first ball hitting, hits it out in the left field. It was a really good throw by the left fielder. It definitely beat the runner. But as we look at the replay, did he get the tag? The answer is no. He did not get the tag on him. So that's the problem. Jimenez missed the tag at second base. So he's gonna slide in for a double. There's gonna be no challenge on it. He simply missed the tag. The throw beat him by a mile. Yeah. Home plate umpire's holding it up. Hey, rings up, says, "Let's go, let's play." So your leadoff double, and we have the umpire calling time very audibly. You could hear it over the TV. Here we go. The lineup of the pitch is showing bunt. He does drag a bunt down the first base line. The pitcher gloves it, uses the glove to toss it to the first baseman for the out. The fielder's choice advances the runner to third base. So now there's a runner on third base with only one out. So Cuba has a chance here to double their lead. So it's one bunt out, 1-3. And he advances the runner to third base. So Jose Ramos is now in third base with only one out. So Cuba has a really good chance here to get a second run on the board to double their lead. Okay. Now up, we're back to the top of the order. Oops. I'm sorry, I've been recording this in the wrong place. Right now, Yohan Moncada. He struck out his first time up. And he starts with the ball. So it's a 1-0 count to Moncada. And well inside, 2-0. So after a really good start for Logan Allen, he seems to have really, I think the home run seems to have rattled him a little bit because he looked like he was in total control until that home run. And now he's kind of been all over the place. That was a really nice pitch. Breaking ball, caught the inside corner, fouled off by Moncada, 2-1 count. You're going to try to drive in. You're going to try to drive in Edie Cap. Problem is when Logan Allen goes, but no one's going to be going through the order three times because I'm surprised, a little bit surprised. Allen, that was well inside, 3-1 count. So here the problem now Logan Allen is having is he's not really painting with the control that he had before the home run. Seems like that home run by Gobert really rattled Allen because Allen hasn't been the same. And that ball is gone. That is gone. You knew it as soon as it hit the bat. 2-run home run from Moncada. 3-0 Panama. That you knew as soon as that hit the bat that was going to be heading over the wall. Cubans off to a very, very good start here. Top of the third. Only one out. It is 3-0 Cuba. That impressive start by Logan Allen with the strikeouts. 4 strikeouts before the Gobert home run. Since the home run, after the ground out, you had the double, you had the sac bunt by Santos, and now the home run by Moncada. Now up is Martinez. And yeah, Logan Allen just really has now had his confidence shattered because now he's all over the place. He's not pitching very well at all. So Ariel Martinez is up. He had a single on his first at bat. Now Cuba's up 3-0 over Panama. Wind up in the pitch. That is high for a ball. 2-1. Martinez plays for Nippon Ham in Sapporo in northern Japan, where he only batted 174. But he's 1 for 1 today. Set, wind up in the pitch. And that is drilled on the ground into center field past the second baseman. And that's his second single of the game. And now, I don't know what's up with Allen, but Allen is really shaking now. That's the 5th hit now for the Cubans in only the 3rd inning. So the Cuban bats have woken up since that first home run by Gilbert when Allen got 4 strikeouts before that. And now we've had, after the ground out 5-3, we've had a double, sacrifice bunt, home run, single. So the Cuban batters have woken up, and now they're conferencing at the mound. Allen is at 43 pitches, so now he definitely will have to rest tomorrow. He can't pitch tomorrow. If he goes over 60, if he goes over 50, then he'll have to rest 2 days. If he goes to 65, he'll have to rest for 4. If he goes over 60, he'll have to rest for 4 days. So he already has to rest. Right now he's shaky. They've gone to visit the mound. The conference on the mound is over. Allen back on the mound. He's thrown 27 strikes. The thing is, a lot of those 27 strikes have been in really good positions on the strike zone since that first home run by Gilbert. The spine is up. First pitch is a ball. Okay, 1-0 count. Allen has not been the same. So if he gets over 50 pitches, he has to rest for 4 days. He's at 44 now. So basically, his World Baseball Classic could be over in 6 pitches. Okay. Strike, fouled off. Despania, it's a 1-1 count. Despania is 0 for 1 today with a strikeout his first time up in the first inning. Allen set, wind up, and the delivery. Low strike zone, swinging strike, 1 and 2. That's his 46th pitch. So if he gets 4 more pitches, unless Panama advances, his World Baseball Classic will be over. And that's pulled foul. It was a little bit high. Despania was able to get it. He pulled it just a little bit too much down the third base line. It's foul ball, still 1 and 2. Be interesting to see what the Panamanian manager is going to do about Allen with this pitch count at 47. That is low in the dirt, picked up cleanly by Allen, preventing the runner from advancing. The count is now 2 and 2. Despania, this is his 22nd. He's played 22nd. He's played 22 games. He has a 360 average in the World Baseball Classic. He is a World Baseball Classic, one of the top hitters, and that is fouled off. It's high and outside. Fouled off. Count is still 2 and 2. Allen is out 49 pitches. Basically, this next pitch could signify that this is going to be the end of his World Baseball Classic unless Panama advances. Low and inside for a ball, full count. That officially puts him at 50, so now he's going to have to rest for 4 days. On the mound, wind up, and the pitch, the 3-2 pitch. High fly ball to left field. Panamanian fielder closes in on it, catches it for the out, and it's going to be 2 outs with a runner on first. So now Allen's at 51 pitches, so regardless of what happens now, he has to rest for 4 days, which means he will not be able to pitch again during this pool play. If he's going to pitch again, Panama is going to have to advance. So he's on the mound. Arubarenia's up. Got him swinging. 0-1 count. 0-1 count, 82-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Played in the CNS. 246 average with an 870 OPS. Pitch. Outside corner. 0-2. Swinging 0-2. Allen seems to have found his movement back, but it's going to be a little too late. The question is, will Allen come out in the 4th inning with the pitch count where it is? And there we go. He finally gets another strikeout. But again, the damage has been done. Now, that is his 6th strikeout. I'm sorry, his 5th strikeout of the game. But in that, he's had 2 home runs. So it's going to be 2 runs off 3 hits, 1 left on base for Cuba. After 2.5, it is 3-0 Cuba. Cuba was able to get a double, leadoff double, advanced to third on the bunt, and then the rocket. I mean, it didn't go high; it just went out far and fast over the right field wall. Not far past it, but it just went out like a rocket. And then the single by Martinez after that, finally settling down to get the fly out to the left fielder and end the inning with a strikeout. But as we say, the damage is done. After 2.5, Cuba has 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, 2 left on base. And Panama has no runs, 1 hit, no errors with 1 left on base. Lin Mei Xiu. Never heard of Lin Mei Xiu before. There's sort of advertisement with this woman. I have no idea who she is. Her name is Lin Mei Xiu. No idea who she is. WBC 经典赛，运行，加横，虚口，平乐，运行。还有吗？还有国力。大家说，谢谢你让我参与的美好。来自日本的进口技能 AI 人工智能，献给超级妈妈 Super AI 按摩仪，日本第一，只在桥山。买运彩看比赛更精彩，台湾运彩。看到在上一届经典赛杀进到4强的古巴，那蒙卡达跟蒙耶诺在上一届都有参与，当然也有目前独卖巨人的守护神Rodriguez。All right, so we're at the top of the bottom of the second inning. Moinello still on the mound. He is now over 30 pitches, so he will have a enforced rest day now. Ramos at the plate. His first at bat of the game, bottom of the third, and he drills that opposite field down the right field line. He's got some wheels. He's running to second base. He's going to get in there with a stand-up double. Lead-off stand-up double for Jose Ramos. Second hit of the ball game for the Panamanians. Second time with a runner on second. The first time was in the first inning. Got a single, advancing on the error by the first baseman. That was just a nice slice down the right field line, opposite field. Plenty of space. The right fielder was not there, but wasn't able. But the right fielder closed on it pretty quickly, preventing Ramos from stretching it into a triple. Ninth batter of the lineup, Enrique Bradford Jr. is up for the Panamanians, down 3-0 in the bottom of the second. That was looked just off the outside corner, but the umpire gave it for strike one. Bradfield Jr. plays in the minors. He played as high as he played pretty much every level last year. Did get to AAA. That is a bit of a slider inside, a little too inside for the umpire's liking. 1-1 count. Bradford Jr. is a prospect in the Orioles system. That is a really, really nice pitch. He just broke that in, just caught the inside corner at the top of the strike zone for a called strike, 1-2. 36 pitches now from Moinello. Bradford Jr. into the batter's box. The set. The windup and the pitch with the runner on second. He's in the stretch. And that is fouled up. That was a beautiful pitch. Breaking ball just caught the very top of the outside corner. But Bradfield was able to spoil that pitch. Still 1-2. Looks like it caught the catcher on the shin, but he looks okay. Set, looking at the runner on second, Ramos. Another breaking ball. He's just bringing that sweeper in, and he's just making it really, really difficult right now for the Panamanian batters. Enrique strikes out. That is the third strikeout of the game for Liban Moinello. Okay, Cordoba back to the top of the order. Another breaking ball, in the heart of the strike zone for a strike. Called strike, 0-1 count to Cordoba. And that was too far inside for a ball. 1-1 count to Cordoba. So runner on second with one out in the bottom of the third. Panama really does need to get a run. Pitch low and inside, swing and a miss. Strike two. 1-2 count to Cordoba. Manelo on the mound has now thrown 41 pitches. As he gets closer to that 50 pitch mark, the Cubans will have to be thinking about whether or not they're going to sub him out. Otherwise, he won't be able to pitch again. And that is I don't see how that was a strike. That was a called strike three. It looked to be a bit on the inside. Great movement, which does make it a little bit more difficult for the ump. The pitch track definitely showed it well inside. The batter, Cordoba, also kind of looking on with disbelief. So after the leadoff double by Ramos, 2 consecutive strikeouts brings us to two outs with a runner on second. Sosa's up. Sosa got struck out in the first inning. Played with the Phillies, 276 average last year. Set. And the pitch. Outside, grounded to the shortstop, bouncing. Shortstop picks it up, throws it to the first baseman. No problem for the out. After the leadoff double, the runner is stranded on second base. So after 3 innings, it is 3-0 Cuba. After Panama gets 0 runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 more left on. After 3 innings, Cuba, 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, 2 left on base. Panama, 0 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. We're a third of the way through the ball game. Cuba 3, Panama 0.
便当乐家卡和您一起品中华，乐家卡宠物神卡，指定消费最高10%回馈哦，快搜乐家卡。观众早上们，欢迎补拿成绩，消炎只用抗保湿3小合一，超快速有效。3小合一，击退酸痛补拿成绩，生活更有料。输入优惠码美食棒棒哒，1元美食享7